No matter how much you might think you're smart, you can play your cards very well. You can assess, you can, read a person. One thing about a human being and just human nature in general, people, yes, eventually they'll show themselves, but they'll pretend for as long as they need to for their benefit. And that's why you see a lot of failed relationships, because people come in there with other intentions outside of just what relationships were meant for. Antoine.
Yeah. I'm not a fuck boy.
Yeah.
That means you're not a reliable man.
Yeah.
There's no trust or reliability in you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it sounds like a compliment.
What?
When I got a fuck boy.
Why a compliment?
It's a compliment. It
It's
means I'm
not.
good looking.
No. That means you're not trustworthy.
You don't know how painful that
No,
feels.
it
though.
means you don't trust me.
Exactly. You're not
You've got trust
trustworthy.
issues. She's got trust issues, dog.
A lot of them have trust issues then.
She doesn't know me.
But it's the
Well,
same
maybe
as
she's
it's the
judging.
same as. Oh, you look.
You paying damages doesn't mean that you can change the surname.
Does it mean that you?
You can change the surname.
Oh,
It can never mean you can change the surname.
okay.
But let's say I've now lobolat the child, and still the baby mama is like, nah. I don't think there's anything I can do at that point, because she has the right.
No, she
It's-
does not. Like, I don't
She
know.
does have the right. Yes.
You know, for me, what I enjoy most is being able to talk to them. Before, it would be difficult just to have a normal, serious conversation without it being blown out of proportion. No, I can't feel like, oh, mama, I'm talking for stress. I never cheek. What you keep on eating me, no, you can legit have a conversation. Oh, ish, mama, mama, na ka wetsa so.
Like you're literally putting yourself in crap.
But no, you can.
Hey, but
Shit,
yes, sis.
I wanted to ask a question earlier on, just before we move on to the topics. In the event that you had to, as a guy, you are now made to choose between your daughter and your wife,
Sure.
or your son and your wife. If, let's say, one had to maybe donate, let's say, a heart to you, or whatever that causes the other to actually die, who would you choose to die
No
in
one.
this scenario?
No one.
You can't say no one. Like, you are now pressed for choosing somebody to take the fall.
To die, or you mean in terms
To
of
die. Like,
let's
that's
say,
why again, I can't
Okay.
put an example.
How old
to
am
it.
I?
Bro, you're as young as you are right now. Like,
When I-
let's say you have a wife, you have a family, you're living with them, you are
Yeah,
like
you're
proper,
old
you
enough
love
to have
them,
a wife and
Maybe my
and a
daughter.
family.
you're happy, and you name it.
Maybe
I'm
my
talking-
daughter.
So let's say your daughter is of, let's say, 10 years of age.
Yeah.
You're going to get them to go,
Yeah.
even though you've created like a super bond with them.
Yeah.
What is your reason for
You have
choosing your
both
daughter
super-
be?
I'll make another daughter.
You make another daughter.
Yeah.
Why not?
This child, kitlilele yena mo lenyalong.
No, it's ke ngwana lona le le two.
So I need to save one.
You need to save one. Are you saving your wife, who you love as much as you love your child?
It's a fucked up question because
That's
there's
why I
no
asked
winning.
it.
There's
That's why
no
I asked
winning
it.
whichever answer you take. Nah.
Doesn't matter.
But what the answer that I'll
Let me
go
put it
for
like this
is
for myself.
I'll take my daughter out, Joe.
Okay. No, but I hear your
essentially,
reasoning
If you
behind.
marry, that's your soulmate. You won't get another one. Although my daughter's my soulmate, I'll most probably make another one.
Let me make an example of
Answer the question,
how
my
I
man. You
would
don't need to
look
name
at
an
this.
example.
I need to look at
No,
it first
my man.
in a certain way because
Answer that.
there
Explain
needs to be
it.
a reason for me why they're dying.
Answer
But
that.
then
Explain
you don't have to have a reason. Like the reason is that's why I try to make an example.
Okay, let me rephrase.
Please rephrase.
Okay, ne? Konklung bategeza. Ne? And it's a fucking psychopath, sociopath. How to anything. I love blood. And
You need to
tied your
choose.
daughter and your wife
And you.
and I want to like so or wrong.
Yeah.
So, but save one life.
Yeah.
Which life are you saving? Never mind donate. Which life are you saving?
I'm saving my daughter.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. The reason why I'm saving my daughter is because my wife would have lived her life. My daughter deserves to live her life too.
Okay.
So for me, I'm looking at this person, Samu Kholo and Nesali Kroti. She probably has done half the things that she wanted to do. My daughter still needs to look forward to life, adulthood, teenage years. All these things that I've experienced and my wife has experienced all along. My daughter Mfana needs to see those things. My man, answer the question, your
All
question.
right. Let's move on. So what is the next topic?
Answer the question. Who are you
Honestly
saving?
speaking, hey dog, like fuck, this is a very tough one.
It's very tough.
It's a very tough one. So, what am I saving here? You know, you both got points, and I can literally.
reason.
I'm hearing your
Answer.
point. I'm hearing your point. They both make sense.
What was your initial point?
I would probably. Yes. I don't know. I'd probably save my daughter.
Why?
I can always get another girl. I'm joking.
Professor, what Kagiso said.
I'm twisting what he said. I don't know. Like, I just feel like, you know what, nah. That's why I get a part of me also feels what you said is so valid to say, this is a life that just newly came in this world. So, you know, can we just give it some time to also just live? You know, and
But also, on the other
and at the
note,
same time, I could relate to what he said as well. To say, this is your soulmate. You might not necessarily get the same person again. Anton. So it's a bit of a tense or a very difficult decision now that I've heard your opinion, I've heard his as well. But to close it off, I would most like I'm more on just saving my daughter, maybe. Yeah. I think I'll probably save my daughter. Because it's my blood.
That's not a good reason.
Blood is thicker than water.
That reason is not good. That
perfect.
reason.
That's
that
a perfect
reason is
reason.
all once Msadua.
Tabashwi, like tana nagai.
so on topics, right, guys? There's basically it's a question, eh? But
Sure.
most likely mutotla frosta nanki LSG,
Okay.
right? So it says, what happens if your baby mama doesn't want to change your child's surname even after you've paid the damages?
From what I know, you paying the damages doesn't give you the right to change the surname.
Is that culturally or
difference
in
between
society?
There's a difference
Culturally.
between damage
Okay.
and
remember the
lobola,
damages.
ne?
Yeah?
There's a difference between
There
damage
is.
and lobola. It's not
Damage
the
is
same
you
thing.
it's a damage of
It's penalty.
it's
It's
penalty,
penalty fee.
for you making banaba
Out of wedlock.
pregnant before
Yeah,
you marry
yeah.
them.
Okay.
And you can't use it
Not wedlock,
to
sure.
now want to change the surname of the child. For you to change the surname of the child, you need to now lobola the child. If you're no longer with the mother, you need to lobola the child. And then culturally and traditionally, they need to go to the altar, which is Msamo, where they need to now say to the mother's family, "Ngwana ba mo lobotse ke ntate wa hae," so now they're going to change to their father's surname. And then now the child, I can say the go-to ancestors of the child will now be the fathers.
Okay. Is that for all cultures or mainly Zulu?
It's for all cultures. They practice the same thing because in all the cultures, you paying damages doesn't mean that you can change the surname.
Doesn't mean that you
can change the surname.
Oh,
It can never mean you can change the surname.
okay.
But let's say I've now lobolat the child and still the baby mama is like, nah. I don't think there's anything I can do at that point because she has the right.
No, she
It's-
does not. Like, I don't
She
know.
does have the right. Ha e tshwanele lobola phela of marriage. Go lobola marriage, you can just go to the home affairs and show your...
But how lobolangwana doesn't the mother ever say?
They do.
So why uta dumela a lobolangwana then after that ahan?
Mfana, we deal with spiteful people, dog. Someone would just accept the money and then not follow through with
So on that
whatever
light,
that
what
they need
would
to
you do?
Mfana, there's nothing I can do. Nka se kgone mo tshwarisa. Unfortunately, nka se kgone mo tshwarisa.
So is this damage or lobola?
No,
Se ke lobotse ngwana,
yeah,
nka se kgone mo tshwarisa. Unfortunately. So there's nothing I can do at that
you
point.
can. There is customary law, mos. Not
Ke-
umtwarisa per se, but
Customary law to ke tseba e le mo lenyalong fela. I don't know when it comes to
nah,
the
it's a lot
child.
of things. Land, basically anything etilang ka African customs.
Maybe there is law. I guess at that point one would have to go and search and
Ba check
research.
o etsala.
Hore, how can I remedy this?
But no never mo lwantsha anything.
I'm fana ke tlo mo lwantsha jang. Ebile nna wa bona taba tsa ho lwantsha batho ha ke sa di batla. It's either ra dumelana o sa dumele sharp. Ntho e ke tsebang ke tlo o thola.
Awusasha stream.
Nah,
So,
sharp.
okay, before Klobota, another question. Wena o ka chunangchi.
Bro, in such a situation. Bro, I don't know. Like, my next option would just speak to their family. Like, her family. To say, dude, this is what's happening. Not from my
The family
experience.
would have been involved already. So the go ahead needs to come from the mother.
But you see, the thing is, maybe I'm just now dissecting it further in to
Okay.
say, you must remember there are implications in, okay, maybe the lobola part is done. Fine, surname might not necessarily mean anything if the lobola part is done. Because now, when you mention lobola, you're now talking amadlozi, connecting of the lozis and you name it, right? That's what you meant by
Yeah.
imisamo and all that stuff, right? So, with that said, if that part is already done and is successful, it would only make sense for the boy to carry out my generation. And if she still does not feel the need for me to change surname, bro, I'm beefing heavily with her. Like, I'm going to be pissed off because I just feel like, the purpose, especially if it's a son, Anton.
Whew.
If it's a daughter, I might not be so much of, because she's going to change her surname anyway, Anton. But if it's a son, now you're just fucking around with me, Anton. So, yeah, there's not much one can do, but I guess I'll just have to wait for that child to be 18 so that they can change their own surname. In a situation like that, because they'll still be able to. It's just that thing, once they're above the age of 18, then they can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want. And if they understand the culture and they understand where I'm coming from, who I am to them, then they are obviously going to be first in the queue. Yeah, home affairs.
How about you assassinate the baby mama? Then
Well, I could have said that, but I don't wanna show how cruel I can be. That was the first thing that was on my mind, by the way. But I just went the other route, the long way.
The other shit.
What would you do?
Yeah?
Oh yes, what would you do?
I wouldn't do shit.
You just leave it like that.
Just leave it.
It's a tough one. Like,
That's
to
exactly
try
what
to
I'm
do something.
saying. There's
Like-
not much
like-
you can do.
No, even if there's much to do, but some fights are not.
Are not worth it. Yeah, true.
Because now you'll be. But not seeing the implications
True.
or how it affects the child.
True.
Say about nto alone and so the child doesn't visit because my old lady wa like those are all when a house about maintenance because house abona it's not affecting you guys. It affecting one. But once the child is of age, then it you know what? I cover my father's
Yeah,
surname.
my father's
Because
surname.
I had friends or acquaintances in high school hustling
exactly.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's probably situations
I don't
of this
know, man.
nature.
Time get it just
True.
after Kachecha City. And as it's boys usually that do that.
True.
Because highly one yana kid so
Yeah.
I'll throw a value you're gonna
You're gonna
change it anyway.
yeah.
So
The other thing I'm thinking about this situation is that is why, in fact, let me start with what you said. And the entire luna has nothing to do with the baby, right? When I baby mom. That is why I'm I'm of the belief when it gets to that, the baby mom, you just need to remind her. If she's the one of Asisa in this situation, you just need to remind her, you and I, there's nothing that we can fight about. There's no feelings anymore. The only thing is right now is this child. If it wasn't for this child, you and I wouldn't speak. Meaning
Sure.
we wouldn't even fight about anything. So let's not forget why we're here. How kala ubatlo the edge yaho unwanse about anything, fight it. Because now I'm not gonna entertain it. When you start fighting and only one, udule in your own feelings only one. There's no need for us to fight. There's no feelings anymore. The only thing that we need to speak about is this.
but that's the thing. When Nasaba using says a weapon to get to you.
True.
Because whatever she says or does doesn't affect you. But
course.
knowing the love you have for your daughter, they now start using that as a weapon.
Go to
In
the
most
court.
relationships, baby daddy, baby mama.
I'll go to the court.
Hey.
Shared custody.
And Chaka cover court.
Yeah, it's a process, but it's worth it.
One thing about our laws, bro,
Cover court.
they tend to
They favor
be in
mothers all
favor
the time.
of mothers, and I think it's just by the natural,
A lot of men have given up along the way, but you know what? It's pointless. After Bafa verdict, but you know what? Shared custody. And still in
The other thing I wanted to say is that we speak about it now. And one thing we're not speaking about with regards to this topic is that it is very important to choose people that are going to be very considerate in these situations to have kids with.
But you know,
Should it happen? Right? Should it happen? The thing
Yeah.
is, you can't even tell because there's nothing that you can tell these days. Or when I'm Peter at the end of the relationship,
Sure.
that time you were dealing with the kind person the whole time. You can't even tell. But as for Mfana, just try.
It's very difficult to determine a person, and no matter how much you might think you're smart, you can play your cards very well, you can assess, you can, read a person. One thing about a human being and just human nature in general, people, yes, eventually they'll show themselves, but they'll pretend for as long as they need to for their benefit. And that's why you see a lot of failed relationships, because people come in there with other intentions outside of just what relationships were meant for. Antoine, it goes back to, it just goes back to what is normally said, to say, where now you have your, okay, not normally said, but in most cases where children are born, it is not consented by both parties. Antoine, in most cases, I have sex with her, and yes, it might have probably been unprotected, it might have been protected, but something happened and it was no longer protected, condom burst, you name all the reasons why, it will lead to a child.
I know.
And then you come to now precautionary measures, or let me not precautionary measures, but let me rather say after effects measures to say, okay, fine, how do we now deal with this to try and not find ourselves in a situation where we are parents but we're not compatible, or we are parents and we are not ready mentally and so on. So I think, I don't want to say birth on its own is trauma, but I think when you're not ready for certain things in life, you are going to act out of character. And it might play on both parties to say, here's Kagiso, he's a 23-year-old, he is still trying to find himself in life. Ne? And as he's a 23-year-old, he meets this beautiful hun that he only just wanted to just have sex with. Anton. The hun is crazy about Kagiso. They decide, fuck, I'm going to give this motherfucker a child. They forcing a family, whereas Kagiso had no intentions of having a family. What happens then? Kagiso gets pissed off because now you're fucking up my life. The girl is now also pissed off because Kagiso is not coming to the party. Anton. Now it becomes a whole situation that leads to what you are now saying, to say, pick your partner right. But sometimes you're not really picking your partner. It's just a situation that leads you in a lifetime fuck up, yeah. Lifetime, for lack of a better term.
That partner that you find yourself because of a situation with, you can still pull out.
Pull out how?
You can see who this person is not good people.
Bruh, people pretend, dog. The first encounter. Exactly. You lie in an interview.
After a month, you can see
But that's the thing, bruh. But you have sex before a month. Sometimes you have sex on the first day. But that's what I'm saying. To say, and anything can happen. You probably have a glove on and then boom, it bursts. Because now you're fucking, losing it. And then 2 minutes, see that it was pregnant. And she's keeping it.
You're right. You can't prevent these things.
So it's a bit tricky to say choose your partners wisely. Sometimes this partner chose me, I didn't choose them.
Sometimes you just need to pray, I hope this is a good person. Now that we're going to have a child.
Yeah, the climate of relationships is shitty right now, bro.
Sometimes, okay, you find you've been dating for 3 years and Ali sharp all along.
Exactly.
Then, how so banana kapaso munyala was switch her up? Because now they have something permanent.
Yeah, and
to
then
check out their true colors. Also, divorce. You've literally put your all.
Process,
so it by all means to salvage or to save the relationship. I didn't want to, it's lifetime, Joe.
Exactly.
That person will be in your life forever. Not only your life, your family's life as well.
Everyone.
So,
I saw somewhere where they said, but it's a ex yao na lingwana le yona. I say ex yao. Ke motho wa family o lwaneng le yena.
So I say family motho.
Ke motho wa family o sa utlwanang le yena. O sa utlwane le yena anymore. Meaning it might still happen.
What might happen?
Di kopansitseng.
King e re kopansitseng?
Ne di kopansitse keng?
A ke itse. Well, ne re kopansitse ke se re kopansitseng mara ore se tlo petala hape.
It might happen.
Fuck no. Not gonna happen.
That's why a lot of people are not comfortable with people speaking to their exes.
I'm not okay. Now, is this that
when you're content? I actually missed this things going, this nice beautiful things. Then you slip up. Then after,
that's always the reason you're going to remember this one thing. That you're going to remember this one thing that they used to do so nice.
You trip and fall in the bed. Fuck no, that's not a mistake. But you can't make the same mistake twice.
You can't.
The fact that she's outside of your life is already a mistake.
You can't. How many times did you drink? Oh fuck, I'm no longer gonna drink because Papa last year
that's not a mistake.
Then the next week you're fucking.
That's not a mistake.
You hit a hand. Then I'm thinking I missed my period. Then you pray to God. You're like, God, I'm never gonna do this shit again.
Nah, but that's different.
As soon as she gets it, there's no difference.
It is different, bro. You can't go back to the same. Nah, dog. I think it is different, and I think it's unfair that you're gonna say that it's the same as those mistakes. You get what I mean? Like, you get to learn a person, and you get to learn traits that you can't necessarily.
Have you ever gotten back with any of your exes?
I have, but I can't really count it as going back because it was in such a short period of time. It was like literally like 2, 3, like a week or two apart.
Doesn't matter. You remember
fine.
the nice parts, then you're like, fuck, maybe we can
Nah.
fix it.
That's going back to your ex, my man.
Yeah, but no. But right now, when I think of it, and I think that was a once-off thing, it has never happened before, it'll never happen again.
Never
Doesn't
say
matter.
never.
I'm fucking saying never.
Never.
Nah.
Say never.
It's not gonna happen.
Anywho, on the other topic, since it's in relation to parenting, right? What's your guys' take, or if you guys have experienced it, ne? Whereby, how have you found yourself parenting your parents?
Parenting your parents.
Yeah. And what has it required, or has it taken of you to switch the roles and you parenting your parents?
Parenting your parent, how?
Maybe I'm khalimela.
Oh.
Mama, why we
And I do that a lot.
But kapa selling to okay, una tšhelete ya kerekeng o tlo batla bokae? Okay rile mama, no kapa una tšhelete collect, like basically you now becoming the parent.
I do that a lot, and I do it even within the family. For an example, if my mom has been taking disrespect for so long in the family, I'm fighting for her now. I'm fighting for her, and it's because when I'm fighting for her, kilwana butwae. Hore, malume, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it. And it now I love it, dog. Now I care for my own people a whole lot. So when it comes to fighting for them, I'll fight for them. And when I fight for my mom, I'm telling her, Mama, I've got this. And then I take on Malume. Don't even say anything in this case. It's fine. It's not like usipugul.
Ne?
Right now, dog. Go family ya rona ne re na le like a family society, ne?
Sure.
E hlokantshitswe ke taba ya gore ne ke khalimela malome and ne ke sa mkhalimeli malome, so it was a thing of Malume Vele has always been the guy on a mo family, right?
Sure.
So those kind of people, they get a lot of respect.
Yeah,
ne?
yeah, true.
So for me, when
For bullshit, but
yes,
yeah, fine.
so when they get a lot of respect, it has gotten to a point whereby na ngasu kai respected. About na I'm not gonna give you that respect. So muchwa thing. When you're against them. And the thing is not even a thing ya gore ke a mo sugela. O nsugetse ka molao. O sugetse maoledo, o sugetse my sister ka molao. So because they can't take it, they would rather pull out of the society. So society thing, ile about in between, yaba may old lady living ngositsa ratswa. Yena qhubeka with everyone else.
When was since the society, grand.
Mfana,
Society.
Mfana, I don't mind fighting. I don't want to lie to you. When I'm laughing, I don't mind fighting. And I can this thing ya hore. Mfana, I cannot tell how old you are, dog.
Yeah,
If I have to fight, I'm going to fight.
That's me as well.
I cannot tell how much money you have.
Yeah.
If I am good, most of the time in Kilwanelang, there's only one thing in Kilwanelang mo. Kilwanela pride.
Yeah.
Le respect.
That's mostly honesty.
Kilwanela pride, le respect. If you keep on a whole way,
just the
not
right
just
way of
because you have
doing
money
things.
and you think you're above
Exactly.
me, I'm going to show you who you're not above me.
Definitely. Yeah. I know that term.
Mfana never, mfana.
But it is a beautiful feeling, ne?
It
is.
Being able, Because
to walk away from disrespect.
No,
because
but I
it
mean,
brings a lot of disrespect.
being able
like,
to parent your parent,
Fana.
and it's not really
love it.
it's not really parenting your parent. Kinto hore, I'm now in a position where I'm able to look out for you.
Yeah.
Fana.
As no, see, I wasn't able to. Maybe one of my old lady achikaki uncle and you can't do shit. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Now Kinto, I'm big now.
You're part
I'm
of it,
old. But I'm an old lady. Shebana
Yeah.
Lin, test me. It's a beautiful feeling, too.
True.
It's a great feeling, dog.
True. Yes,
I mean,
I've
even a
gone
simple
through-
thing out like a plastic, konkungu, wow, yo, oh, kalebo, papa, thank you.
Yeah.
Even a simple thing, just like bread and milk.
Yeah.
Bro, you feel
Means a lot. It means a lot.
it does.
So just to answer your question, like I think just to now touch on the basis or the base of the question to say, in my case, I've realized that it's easier to manage, or what is the term you used?
Parent your parent.
Parent. It's easier to parent mothers as opposed to parenting fathers.
Oh yeah,
Because
that's
one thing I've noticed
That's one I don't have experience of.
with my mother, it's very easy to show her what's happening, give her a few examples of why I'm fighting a certain case or why I'm fighting a certain situation, and she will eventually see where I'm coming from. You know, Linda, I've got a similar thing whereby my mother's soft, like she's just generally too soft, and I hate it sometimes. You know, I set up here, you're already king, more and I'm fucking stepping, and she'll be like, no. Mm-mm. Fuck it. Kiamolata all. Kimang type of thing. One ton. Then I'll go and fucking talk to them and say, hey, Mamela, this. And whether it turns into an argument or whatever, but they would at least know who to give her and how I feel about them and whatever the fuck that they will be doing at the time. On top. Whereas on my father's side of things, or my father, there were times with my father, Lena, and I've tried to show him certain things to say, Mamela, we thinking more kibonang kare, you might just be, you know, a bit offish, ka whatever it might have been that we were, that I was feeling was a bit offish, and it's not in those words, but in a way, Kilaban, they are more onto wanting to disagree than agree. Kilaban. Yes, because you're not they'll probably be like, okay, I hear where you're coming from, but Nakibwana, so and I just believe the view Ekibwanang Kayona is the one that I'm gonna take, type of thing.
You know what I've realized about human nature? We're very much the same as animals. What the analogy you're using, it would still be the same even if your mom wasn't soft. Because it was a similar thing that I had a discussion with a lady, a colleague. And one thing you realize, even when the boy is young, the way I dress up, watch your at the end of the day, it's want to move respect, even though it's a small boy, you understand that? So one thing I've realized now, if you look at the human or animal nature, if we look at the animal nature in this instance, the males, they're either down their top or when they're at their peak, but hardly do they ever succumb to the rule of another man.
Okay.
Understand? So that's why even the time I'm alright, you can tell so with women, they're easy to be what you call submissive.
Yeah, submissive, yeah.
To obey the rule.
obey,
That's
yeah.
what guys, it's not easy for them to obey the rule. It's easier for them to give those commands and rules. That's about the upbringing of boys and girls. It's not
Totally different.
yeah.
Nah,
Because I think with men, especially if you're gonna be dealing with your father, I mean, I'm speaking from outside because I don't know, but I think it's a better off you're dealing with another ego there,
yeah.
Sure.
so you can't address that ego because that ego has its own life.
Yeah. Well, for him to get where he got to,
Exactly.
he had to be a man. Yeah, but
you're coming here.
including Khan and all that. And when I feel and you say a few beautiful words, and it's Hunter Mamele. Dog has been through many battles and wars just to whenever you feel entitled to Hunter Mamele. In most cases, for them, you need to prove yourself before they can listen to you. But when I want to, also le monna ha o nyetse na lapa and you've made wealth or you've become a success out of yourself, then get, you know what, my son, now you're worthy of me listening to you. What do you have to say? But before then, just know you're gonna get a lot of resistance.
Nah?
Yeah.
Definitely. It is normally like that, fella. Like, yo.
You're dealing with another man, and one another thing. Eliminatica to parent your parent. It's when I always say when you now make decisions, because obviously their decision making is based on what they know. They can't see things the way you see things,
Modern
because you
thing.
see things based on the Ntotsa know.
Sure.
So you're able to tell them, oh no, I understand who vele the tuna so back then. But if you read tuna jwalo, this is what's going to happen. But now, if we do it like this, then actually it makes sense.
You know, for me, what I enjoy most is being able to talk to them. Before, it would be difficult just to have a normal, serious conversation without it being blown out of proportion. No, I don't feel like, oh, mama, I'm going stress. I never cheek. Watch all. Keep on eating me, watch all. No, you can legit have a conversation. Or ish, mama. Mama, naka it's a so.
Like you're literally putting yourself in crap.
But no, you can have a conversation, Joe. Like that conversation can even be like, instead of mother and son, it can be like friend and friend.
Yeah.
But can you get advice from someone who has lived life much longer and have experienced more difficulty than you? Then you're seeking guidance, but it's not coming from a guidance of, yeah, we're not munyane, because ready to try le banyana. Bona no, it's about to kanete. Hey, I experienced.
This is what happened and so on. Yeah.
Kanete kapa time, kanete. Oh yeah, you're not the only one. Hey, I also went through shit. Then it's that back and forth thing. Like fuck, I never thought and the reason I say to talk to them, you end up seeing a side of them that you've never seen.
True.
That they would have opened up until we're not open up over.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Canteluana, you've been through 1, 2, 3. I think that's
and
also the beauty of
the nice
things.
thing about speaking to your parents is that sometimes you discover things that you never knew about them.
Sure.
Because recently we have discovered, my sister Hore, the reason why mewaka tshababana. So mewaka tshababana, ne?
Bana.
Yeah. Meaning
about
Sure.
No, listen.
So-
No.
No. So utshababana. So recently we've discovered Hore, the reason why tshababana, because ki first born ko wana, so she had to be a deputy parent.
Oh, shit.
So khulisitse bana ba ko bona ba tlang mo mora wa hae. My
hodisa le
uncles and
lona
all of-
also.
And then now by the time she had to raise us, she was tired.
Ne?
Yeah.
She was tired. She did raise us because she didn't have a choice. But bana ba rona, hey,
Abatli next.
mfana o ba batla sa khone o tsamaya ngwana teng. Sa ore ke lesia.
Ha di ke.
Wa mohlansi. Ai butlolwana le wena blind.
Ha di ke.
Lesia.
But
So,
it makes sense, Joe.
it
And
does, it does.
Being a co-parent back then is much harder than it is now.
It is.
Yeah, back then some of them had to leave school because time I only mining, I only do the kitchening. How na mo to
na
control?
ploma ko di kitchening dog magriza waka. So na ploma ko di kitchening mauledi na ploma le nkgono ai. And nkgono na ko nkgono wa mauledi o re mo yena o ska o lo dlala. O kate bana ba.
Nana fair.
Nana fair.
But she was also tired. Like the granny was probably also tired at
Ke
the time.
nkgono le yena.
Yeah. So it's a crazy
So,
effect.
You speaking about Chihure, it's difficult to parent a father as opposed to a mother. Ne? What do you think of this statement where they say men like to feel needed and not relied upon?
And not?
Relied upon,
Men like to feel needed.
but not relied upon. Yeah, it's a common
But why
quote
does it sound so
that
similar? Like, why does it sound like the same statement, just using different words? Relied. They rather feel needed than relied upon.
yeah. So for
But
example,
needed. When I rely on you, that means there is an
they're
element
interlinked,
of
but they're not
need.
the same thing. So let me give an example, right? How about Naimedi that earns more than you? They don't need you, but they may rely on you. So for some guys, it's more of a challenge or especially, guys that tend to be, it'll be a fucked up example, but guys that are abusive or controlling, they want someone who needs them. You have nowhere to go. I'm all you have. Or can I go? I don't need a nyongo. So what's your take on that statement where guys love to be needed and not relied upon?
I think it might just go back to what you just said now, to say, in just human nature, we are like animals, and this is now just men in general. There is a dominant part that we play in our families and the family that you create, to say, you are the man. And because of our nature, we are built to go out there and hunt for now, if we are now speaking in nature terms. So my spouse, my partner, I would expect them to be of a lesser power, strength, and just generally ability. Anton.
You know what I think about it? Now I think it plays on men, because the pride of a man is in provision.
Yeah.
So when you can't provide because we're now independent, then you don't feel like you're useful.
Yeah.
You don't really feel like you're useful. You can't provide to someone onalo remoyena. Awaiti fandakinana gore so that time when you can't even afford it. They can. But now, because you're not the one that's providing that thing, now you're gonna take offense.
Waiting today can go buy out. I thought that's what he was gonna say. Like, waiting today, today I'm thinking of buying you out.
Yeah. On
a certain extent, I find that quote to be quite offensive.
Which one?
You know that quote. Men like to be needed, not relied upon.
Okay.
Reliability means everything. Basically, it means you're a man of your word. You don't have to, but you will.
You will, yeah, true.
So basically, a lot of deadbeat fathers is that they're not relied upon.
Sure.
But Nsabachola and date other people because they love that feeling of being needed. Kapa unso mo ngeng every time kopa chelete ngwana because you want that feeling of being needed but not relied upon. And if you really look at it, there's a lot of men that are both needed and relied upon.
Yeah.
Like no, you don't like.
Actually, those two things can coexist.
They can coexist. But a lot of people, that's like you say a deadbeat father, you're not reliable, but you are needed.
Oh, reliable.
Because whichever mjolo or young who probably you're the man of the house. Or wow, on our own time media, how on dates and all that. But when it comes to reliability of the needs of your kid, you're not there. Sometimes you're there, sometimes you're not there. Sometimes I'm lata skolong, sometimes I'm there. Oh, you're not there at all. So being reliable, you're not there. I find it fucked up to a certain extent. There are some people that quote suits them.
Yeah.
But for some it doesn't. That's why we'll tell about Babang, they have a presumption, an assumption around when I'm going to play. So that means he's not a reliable man.
Yeah. Practically.
Yeah. I'm not fuck boy.
Yeah.
That means he's not a reliable man.
Yeah.
There's no trust or reliability in you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it sounds like a compliment.
What?
When I got a fuck boy.
Why a compliment?
It's a compliment. It means I'm good looking. You know?
No. That means you're not trustworthy.
You don't know how painful that feels.
No, it means you don't trust me.
Exactly. You're not
You've got trust
trustworthy.
issues. She's got trust issues, dog.
A lot of them have trust issues then.
She doesn't know me.
But it's the same as oh, you look like a tsotsi.
That Lekhua has trust issues.
But it can't be a compliment.
Nah, it can't be a compliment.
No, Euvele is not a compliment. That one can't be a compliment. Mara, you look like a fuck boy.
Boy, bro. Like, it's also not
dog,
it's
a
not
fuck
nice,
boy.
bro. I've never taken
It's but
that
you know, the one where
as
they
a
say,
Compliment.
Nah.
you know, a compliment is when a lady is like, "Hey, you seem like you." There's a lot of women that run after you or that want you.
Yeah,
now
that
that's
sounds
a
more like a
compliment.
compliment. Fuck boy.
boy.
Ah, bruh, come
Ah,
on, dog.
dog.
That's literally
Some
demeaning.
women cannot say, "Hore, you
It's
look
like,
like
well, mate, oh, you look like a hoe.
Exactly.
it's different."
That's practically
That's
what it
exactly
is.
like that.
That's exactly what it is.
But I'm
How is it different?
But I'm gonna influence her, maybe.
Nah.
Nah.
How
But
is it
you
not
see, if you
different?
tell her,
They literally telling you look like a fuckboy, meaning
You look
every
like a hoe.
skirt you are after.
Nah, they don't.
but I'm gonna if
They
you
are
go to
meaning
a
like
woman
that.
and you're
What
like,
women?
you look like a Baushela. It looks like when your phone is busy, they're hunting you. It's a compliment saying,
Yeah.
okay, you look good. But you're saying
But
you
if you're
look
gonna
like a
say,
hoe.
oh, and now you look like, you look like a hoe.
Not all girls are going to say to you, "You look like you have a lot of girlfriends." They will say you look like a fuck boy.
Ah,
Nah, bro, that's
they're telling you
not
shit.
Ooh.
How they telling you shit?
Nah, that's
I'm
scuff,
telling
bro.
you,
I've never
That's a
ever
compliment.
felt the word fuck boy or the term
be
fuck
a
boy
compliment.
is
That's
a compliment.
compliment.
Fuck no.
Number one, she's saying that because she's thinking to herself, "Well, chances are I don't even have a chance with this guy."
Nah, fuck that shit, bro. She's literally looking at you and thinking, "There's
Hey, we're
no."
not fair. It's about
Yeah, or when I. She's saying, you know what, ne? When you are not worth being with.
Nah, you guys are taking way too far.
Nah, pride is what it is,
You're
dog.
not worth. You're taking
Yes,
way.
you're not worth. Like, bro,
You are
would you be with a hoe?
okay.
Would you be with a hoe? Would you marry a hoe?
It's different.
Actually,
It's not
you
different.
give context there. Oshela Medi. And you know what? I like you. But I can't date you because you look like a fuckboy.
Okay, Mo, maybe I can take offense there.
Oh, we go. Take offense now.
It's the same thing, Joe.
Same thing.
And like why I'm Peter and Tutsi.
Because you're only a hoe.
Why are now all of a sudden say offense? I get it. You said it's a compliment.
Nah, I
One matter. I get one matter. You should be happy she's saying that. I get it's a compliment. You should be like, yeah, compliment, lovely, I'm in, type of thing. Oh, not about it.
Nah, but I will never take offense for that thing.
I feel like it is an offense. Like it's the same as whole. Mabo.
It's different, dog.
Aye.
It's the same as whole.
It's way too different.
Aye.
You know, if they come to you and like you are very handsome, then it's fine.
My
You're a
man,
fuckboy.
Boy.
usually they don't say that.
No, they should be able to say that.
They should,
Bro, there's
but
a
they
difference.
don't.
People know words. Like fuck boy can try know. Like maybe 5 years ago, okay, maybe if we stretch it, maybe 10 years ago. That's when the term fuck boy came through. There was never a term fuck boy. In my schooling days, fuck boy
Yeah.
never existed.
The thing is, Rona re khotse kgale, dog.
Okay.
Don't say it.
Tell about a lady,
Tell
ne?
it
What's her perception of a term fuckboy?
Okay.
Yeah. I think that would be a fair. Yeah, that would be a fair
Analysis.
opinion.
So when you say to a guy, "You look like a fuckboy," what do you actually mean?
What do you have in your mind?
Well, I see someone is disloyal. You will never commit to one person.
You see?
It's gonna jump from one person to
Uqwa-
another.
uqhile the
One
first
person
term,
to another.
disloyal. Who does not want to be loyal? Who doesn't want to be seen as loyal? Who wants to be seen as disloyal? It goes back to tsotsi. When you say disloyal, it means when I'm funny, you can't be trusted. I'll never leave you with anything, and I will never even leave you with the house. You know? Until I say, but I'll never leave you with the type of thing.
But I'm still saying,
Hobana, wa utlwa nkane ya mzulu.
I'm still saying, gore nna, it sounds like a compliment.
Nah, not to me. It's a thingy. Because I know what a compliment sounds like, and fuck boy is definitely not a compliment.
It's a compliment, my man.
Not a chance.
It means, gore, you are him.
Nah. You know what? Nah, I've been complimented many times before, but fuck boy, when that term is used, I see the maliciousness that it comes with as
My
well.
man,
Yeah.
you're taking it too far.
I see the animosity that it comes with as well.
It's subliminal, Joe.
You see the
It's not
facial
direct.
expression on a person's face.
It's not that
whenever
serious.
they refer. No, it's very serious.
It's not.
It is very serious.
Trust me, it's not.
Nah, for me it's serious. But I've been complimented with every other.
You know, if they mean it as a
Proper-
compliment, what they're saying, ne, is
Then you must rephrase it nicely. Don't say.
so yes. LSG the way it's a compliment, ne? It's a subliminal diss. It's the same as a girl you've been hanging out with a while. Are you? If nka thola boyfriend e tshwanang le wena, I would be happy. But they don't want to date you. Is that a compliment or is that a diss?
No, oh, Shanyes.
Exactly. Fuck boy is the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. Wa bona oh Shanyes. Wa bona oh. Ibilo untina lo feta because ke a matla e nampatla.
Javi ao koring. O mo batlang ke ena o tenang. When you want her, that's when it seems a bit offensive. But when you feel like you don't want her, then you don't care.
Okay.
But in this scenario, I think
From everyone.
it should not have been about who wants you and who doesn't. The term itself should just be what it actually means. Because that's why in my life, I've never come across any woman that calls either me or any other man a fuck boy, and they say it in a positive term. Never in my life. Fuck boy specifically ratchet. You're ratchet. You're a manhole. You're this. You're that. You're that.
For the term fuckboy, if it's a compliment, it's usually for the man, for the male ego. That's how I see it, because now it's like you get hoes, you get bitches. So some men
Yes,
will
but-
take it that way. It's like, okay, I'm a fuckboy, I get hoes, I get.
Is that how you're taking it?
How I'm taking it is that. Let me tell you how I take it. How I take it. Well, when I watch you said, oh, when a girl says you look like you have a lot of girlfriends, that's exactly how it sounds to me.
Okay. So it's a compliment.
That's why I'm saying it's a compliment. You look like you have a lot of, because if someone is going to say you look like a fuck boy, it means oh you look like you have a lot of girlfriends.
Nah,
In
you
this
look like
case-
you're fucking these girlfriends, bro. No, they're not even girlfriends. They're just, people you meet and fuck and you walk on.
It's a compliment. Do you have another topic?
That being said, what's the best time to come back from groove?
What's the
From-
best type?
To come back from groove.
Time.
Yeah.
From groove.
Ki 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
In the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are you going if you're gonna come back at 12 o'clock or 1?
Okay, are there still places that's closed at 6 in
Yeah.
the morning?
Yeah. Plenty.
Like in Akhanaki
Nah,
Nah.
2 is the earliest that closes.
Yeah.
4
There's
o'clock
always
is like
that
the
second
mid,
location.
the mid latest. And then 6 o'clock is literally
Why
the
not
latest.
go home, Clay?
It's just,
The thing is, also you can't do it every week.
the issue becomes when it now becomes abuse. There's use and there's abuse. And if you're gonna now go out and be doing it every weekend, then that's a bit too much. But best time to come out to go or to come back from home after a good night, 6 o'clock. I think we adults, it'll all really just depend on you. That question is obviously coming from who are you coming back to?
Here, man.
If there's no one at home,
If there's no one at home, then I can fucking sit the whole weekend there.
Hey, my man, Kanta, you don't get tired.
No, I'm just saying. It also, I get it. There's obviously going to be restrictions. I think this question is generally coming from a restrictive part. Not even coming from, but there's different people who are gonna. Or let me rather say, there's people who are gonna answer this question differently, and I can't blame a 12 o'clock midnight person to say, okay, I'm gonna go home at 12 o'clock. That's why I'm asking, who are you going back to?
it also
What's rushing you
depends-
to go
You're
home?
going back to your bed.
Yeah.
Are you not tired?
It also depends when you get there. So if you got there at 6, or it's a 6 to 6, then no.
Doesn't matter what time I got there. What matters is, okay, that's why I get it. Who am I going back to? If it's a human being that I have to refer back to, that is forcing me to go back there at that time or earlier than what I would have come back at, then okay, fine, it makes sense. But if I'm just going back to my bed,
Or meaning, hore, or value to going back home, then you can leave
No.
at any time. Is that what you're saying?
is there somebody waiting for you at home? Or where you going to?
My man,
Are you pressed to
are
go
you
home?
not going back to sleep?
I am, but I'm not ready to sleep. If I'm not ready to sleep, let me go on until I'm ready to sleep.
Even if it's 6 o'clock.
Even if it's 6 o'clock. You
Okay,
just said
okay.
6. You
Bon,
just said 6 o'clock.
let,
Now
let,
all of a
let,
sudden
let me
you want
put
6
let me
o'clock.
put two analogies
guy,
or two examples. Nah?
He's throwing me under the bus.
You have your lady at home, probably let's say with the kid, right? So you go into groove. You probably do that 4 times a year, whatever the case is.
I have my lady at
4
home with a
times
kid.
a year.
Or you have a lady, no kids, but you have your significant other. It's a happy home. What time would be a perfect time to come back?
I was chilling with the boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't do that often, probably 4 times a year.
Because I would have gone with her. But
That's
if I was
exactly
chilling
what
with the
I'm
boys,
thinking.
then fine, that's probably why I'm not with her.
That's exactly what I'm
So-
thinking too, because
That changes everything.
If I feel to, don't be down the bush. What's the question? She's at home, girl.
Okay, she's
You don't
at
go
home,
with her,
fine,
whatever the
cool.
reason is,
no,
I'll
if she's
call
at
her.
home, I'm going back home maybe at 3.
in the morning. Okay. You?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
I
1
mean,
o'clock
maybe
to
the
2.
next day, Buffett. If there's alcohol involved, the reason I'm saying that, nah, it's if there's alcohol, it's drunkenness, it's fatigue. It's safer to stay
No,
if you're
let's say
able to
traveling
there.
by
Then,
Uber. Let's say you're traveling by Uber.
then I go immediately, even 12.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. To say, I know we are removing all other factors that we are thinking
Okay,
about.
if there's
We are
all
thinking-
hindering
The
factors,
question here is just about you
Going
and the
back.
person that you're with and the time frames of thingy.
even 12,
Yeah,
depending what the vibe is.
yeah. I was going to call and say, what time are you expecting me home? Because it looks like it's about to get hectic.
Okay,
Mo a tloring kgutla ntlong no. Ha o so njwetsa ka hectic.
And if like you want to ring, yay, you come back now. But in a situation where I don't expect where nobody's expecting me at home, fuck, bro, I can go the whole weekend, boss.
Do you not get tired at some point?
You will get tired, but I'm
The
just
whole
saying,
weekend.
like, there's nothing that's stopping me from just enjoying myself. I'm not saying this is something I'm doing on a weekend
You being tired should
basis,
stop you.
Yeah.
but I'm not tired yet. In terms of like for that
How
particular
long does it
night,
take you to get tired? Outswell.
what do you mean?
Now, o kgathetse, o batla better out.
There are different days. Different days call for different feelings. Like there are days where I'm like, we're taking 9 o'clock, I'm tired. 9 o'clock in the evening, I'm tired, I'm going home. And then there are days where I'm like, fuck, I'm fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm still here. Let's fucking go, buddy. We're going on.
LSG, I also groovily out here. I want 9 o'clock your next.
Yeah?
I want 9 o'clock your next. Got 9 o'clock, let's get another bottle, bro. Is that it? That's 12 for it, dog. I need to go home. Home? The moon is still bright. Why are you going home? Let's go for it. Every 2 o'clock. Oh, bro, this bottle's about to finish. Do you think we should get another one? Or let's go to the second location. Out there.
Second
When I look
location
at
it is.
cocaine as blood.
This
That's
guy-
what you're talking about 12.
One thing I know about him is that he won't stop buying. He'll always want to buy.
He's the type that
Yeah, practically. Fucking hire a private jet right now, boss. Nah, but look, it's about to say, that's like I have different days, you know? If the mood allows for it, and if the atmosphere allows for it, then hey, why not? Anton. Like, because it's a once-off thing, it's not something that you're doing on a weekend basis. Because it's a once-off thing, I feel like you should just have the freedom to just really have it to its last bits. So that you don't necessarily feel the need to go back to it every weekend. And I think people who probably go out every weekend have that thing, last weekend not enough.
I wanna
You know,
make it for this
I want to make it better this time around. But if you stretch it all the way through to say, I had fun, I had a good time, I'm happy. Now you're satisfied for like another 3 months or however long that, it will be. Could be 1 week.
Of course, it could be 1 week. Of course, it could be 1 week.
no, but there's truth to that because if same as you, I would do the same thing. I'd party until
Yeah.
knowing that in the next 6 months or 3 months I'm not going to go
One time.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like stretch it. I think there's a reason for stretching it. To say, "Hi man, utlile groove home." There shouldn't be, there's nothing as painful as being at groove and being here. Being here. Constantly you're here. Nah, bruh. What's the point then? Why no survive? Why didn't you what are you timing? Like, why do you need to look at the time? You are there to have fun. Explore your fun, enjoy. If you're still young, spanning, like you're checking if your break is not exceeding, or you're on lunch, you want to make sure lunch hour I fairly in on top. Yeah. So that's why if you are out there and at your leisure, have your leisure. Like there's nobody that's going to be sitting and being like timing you to say, hey, yafuneka kaya.
If you're checking your time, that's when you need to leave.
Yeah. Is that the shit that you want to hear at Groove? Fuck that shit.
Yeah, if you're checking your time, just go home.
Exactly. If you're checking your time, that's why it brings a lot of discomfort because you always hear, you're
not even dancing anymore.
I think the only time you're gonna look at your time is when you have someone waiting for you at home.
But there's some people that don't even have anyone at home. They just want to go. It's like, why don't you just go?
Yeah, just go. Like, why are you checking the time for what? Unless you've got engagements tomorrow and you want to just get enough rest. But you must also just be fucking off.
Plot twist. What if Groove is so nice you don't want to leave, but you have shit to do tomorrow?
Shit.
Then you have to think and weigh.
Roll a dice.
Yeah, what should I do?
Flip a coin.
Yeah, flip a coin.
Let your faith be in something else, bro.
I don't need to sleep, Do I need to sleep? No, I don't.
Drive straight to work at the time.
Nah?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of people.
Wash and go.
I've unfortunately not done that. Okay, I did do it this year. Where now that we're closing the year, I can just say a lot of other things. Got next year, I'll be a new person. So I've done it this year where I came back home at like 4:00, and I had literally an hour to sleep, and I had to wake up and get ready to go to work, type of thing. I got to work, and there was literally a lady that was like, I went to greet her, like, hi, how are you? An elderly lady, Went to her, like, hi, how are you? Whatever. And she was like, please go grab yourself something to eat and grab yourself something to just replenish, because I can literally, because she was asking me, how's your weekend? I was like, yeah, it was quite hectic. I was with my whatevers and this, I did this, And she's like, yeah, please go and get something to eat and just, a refreshment.
You didn't think of that?
No, I did. It was in the morning. I had already ordered. I came.
Already ordered something.
But it's something that I've not done before. It was actually my first and probably my last time, because I'm one person that really likes just being in my comfort space, and I don't like situations that are gonna either make me feel uncomfortable or I cannot perform, I cannot do certain things, and so on. So it was like a once-off thing,
And were you able to work?
Yeah, I was able to work. I think I got. You see, the thing is, I might have probably stopped. I might have come home at 4, but I probably stopped drinking kabama maybe 1:00.
Oh,
which was not Azanka Gila. I didn't sleep. I was still at it, but at a certain time I now started drinking water. And I started that's why I get a couple more 1:00. I now started just water right through until I got home. But obviously I'm tired still, and there's still alcohol in my system. I'm tired, you name it. And then, obviously had to wake up, splash, go to work. I'm still reeking, but yeah, type of thing. But it's not me. That's why I get it as the first and definitely the last.
At least when I'm fana no khona no mets. Nakujwetsa ka thato mfana na driver straight from Groove.
Fuck.
Straight to work.
That's intense.
Ka diphatso tsa maobane.
Yes.
I see it all the time at work as well.
Nah.
Yeah.
From Groove to work. Obviously, ha fitla go spanning ulogile. He doesn't have a choice. He doesn't have a choice. He's tired.
Yeah, but really.
If our kidla gontung best believe utlogila kwa.
You'll find time to sleep at work.
Anyway,
if your job place is good enough, then you must just go and fetch the drip, the what is it? IV drip. What is it? It's the IV drip, yo. Let's get the drip, pump whatever in you, and you'll be fresh in like an hour or so. What do you mean, Zibalaga? No, but that shit really helps. Like, I I've had it before.
How long have you gone there, dog? I feel like we just.
Went over, ne? Yeah. How long are we?
14 minutes in.
You
Do you have any BTWs?
no.
Okay. Okay. Now I think we are wrapping up. Street Squad, thank you very much for tuning in. Please continue following, get more people to follow, get more people to subscribe. And let's just do the street thing. You know? It's nice, it's lovely, it's great. And thank you for the support. And we are
Ah.
out of here.